Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. My humble obeisances to all of you. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let's get started with Mangala Charan prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuse Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing our study of Sri Jaiva Dharma by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Mahashaya. We are discussing the 7th chapter, the conversation between Chudamani and Yadav Das with Sri with whom? I forgot. What is Babaji's name? Let's see. Let me share my screen. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Are you still able to see the full screen? The PowerPoint? Okay. All right. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing the conversation between Yadav Das, Chudamani, and Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj, who is representing all the Vaishnavas at Godrumdvip. So in the previous session, we discussed how there is a difference between a Grihastha Vaishnava in this material world and a Griha Medhi, who is a Vishayi. They are both apparently in samsar, but their situation in samsar, in this material world, is quite different. The Griha Medhi is in the householder life, but is completely dedicated to sense gratification. He's a Vishayi. He is running after the objects of sense gratification, whereas the Vaishnava Grihastha is controlled, does not indulge in excessive sense gratification, and is devoted to the service of Shri Krishna. So Shri Yadav Das, who is learning from Shri Anantadas Babaji, questions. Yadav Das says, Grihastha Vaishnavas have to remain under the regulations of the Smarta Brahmanas, who are Karmakandi. Otherwise, they face problems in society. How can the Grihastha Vaishnavas cultivate Shuddha Bhakti under these circumstances? Very valid question. In the previous slide, Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj said that the Grihastha Vaishnavas are very exalted and they can attain the highest destination of life, which is attainable by those who are Vairagis. So Shri Yadav Das is asking, how is that possible? Because in this samsar, in this material world, if we look at the society, the Grihastha Vaishnavas, they have to be under the regulations of the Smarta Brahmanas, who are after Karma Kanda. So if someone is under the regulation of the Smarta Brahmanas, who are on the level of Karma Kanda, how can these Grihastha Vaishnavas cultivate Shuddha Bhakti, which alone can give Krishna Prem? How is it possible? So Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj replies that Grihastha Vaishnavas have to conform to certain social conventions established by the Karmakandi Brahmanas, the Smarta Brahmanas. For example, Vivaha. Grihastha Vaishnavas cannot say we are going to start living together without Vivaha Samskar. No. The Vivaha Samskar has to be performed even by Grihastha Vaishnavas, because that is the norm of society. And it is the norm established by the Brahmanas of society based on the Vedic teachings that a man and a woman can cohabit, they can live together after the Vivaha Samskar, after the marriage ceremony. Then Vedic marriage of the sons and daughters also, it's a responsibility, it has to be done. So even Grihastha Vaishnavas, when their kids get married, they may do Saat Phere and all those different rituals which even Karmakandi people do. So one may question, why are they doing that? Well, because in a society, we have to conform to certain day-to-day rituals, and there is nothing wrong in that. Also, performing Shraddha, which is offering oblations to one's departed ancestors, that also Vaishnavas may do. Shri Advaita Acharya performed Shraddha ceremony. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also went to Gaya to perform Shraddha of his father. So Shraddha may be performed by Grihastha Vaishnavas and so on. These are examples. Vivaha Samskar, Shraddha. These are examples of certain Vedic rituals that of Grihastha Vaishnava may perform. However, the Grihastha Vaishnavas are not required to perform Kamya Karma, fruitive activities, for the purpose of materialistic ambitions. So if someone tells a Grihastha Vaishnava that you do certain Karmakandi Puja or some Karmakandi Yajna, which will give, what are the results of this activity? Oh, it will give prosperity, it will give money, it will give you fame, it will give you good health, it will enhance your reputation in society. No, this is purely karma kanda. A Grihastha Vaishnava will not do that. But Vivaha Samskar can be dovetailed in Krishna consciousness. Shraddha ceremony can be dovetailed in Krishna consciousness. And therefore, Grihastha Vaishnava may engage in such social rituals which are based on Vedic ceremonies. And there is nothing wrong in it. And how that is, we will see. Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj is explaining, as one can understand, one has to admit dependence upon external things in order to maintain and care for the material body. Even those who claim to be nirapeksha, detached, have to accept this certain degree of dependence on external things. For example, when a person is sick or suffers great pain, he must go to a doctor. If someone is sick, if a Grihastha Vaishnava is sick, the Grihastha Vaishnava will not say that Krishna will take care, I will not go to doctor. No. If a Grihastha Vaishnava is having a stroke or a heart attack, we will call 911, we will emergency services will take the Grihastha Vaishnava who's having a heart attack or stroke or whatever, will take the Grihastha Vaishnava to the hospital. And there's nothing wrong in that. Prabhupada, when he had a stroke, he was rushed to the hospital, he was hospitalized. Or if a Grihastha Vaishnava is having a lot of pain or has an accident or some injury, then we will give painkillers also. We will give antibiotics, painkillers, whatever needs to be done to take care of the illness. So this is also depending on external thing. Why we are going to doctor, why we are taking medicine. One may say, oh, you are nirapeksha, you are a vairagi, so don't do it. But even those who are in the renounced order of life, those who are vairagis, even they go to hospital. Even they take medicines. Isn't it? We see our sannyasis, brahmacharis, they go to hospital, they see a doctor, they take medicines. So does that break their renunciation? No. When we live in this material world and we are living in this material body, we have to take help of, or we have to depend on certain external things. When we are hungry, we have to eat food. Dhruv Maharaj even gave that up. Can we do that? Shri Raghunath Das Goswami even gave that up. Can we do that? No. So we are depending on external things, and that's okay. One has to admit dependence on external things in order to maintain and care for this material body, because this body is made of matter. It requires roti. You cannot eat stones. You have to eat roti. You have to eat rice, dal, vegetables. You should have everything. Fats, cow's milk, ghee, protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, electrolytes, trace minerals. Everything has to be there in a balanced, nutritious diet. Otherwise, the body will not work properly. If Vaishnava is completely deprived of vitamin C, there will be symptoms of vitamin C deficiency. It's natural because the body is material, it needs it. So some dependence is there, and that is okay. Furthermore, he must procure food and eat when hungry, arrange for clothing when it is cold. A Vaishnava may have to take chap. Prabhupada wore, when he went to Russia, Prabhupada wore a full coat, jacket. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada used to wear a leather jacket. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada used to wear a leather jacket, but it was a leather jacket made from the skin of a cow that was protected and had naturally died. So naturally cared for cow, when she naturally died, her skin may be utilized to make leather. All the mridangas at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the mridangas traditionally, the diaphragm of the mridanga is made from leather, and that leather comes from cows that are naturally died, that have naturally died, not cows that have been slaughtered. And also similarly, the leather can be used to make shoes, it can be used to make jacket. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada wore shoes and wore a jacket, but it was from ahimsa, leather. So one may use shoes, one may use jackets when it is cold, one may use a chadar when it is cold, one may build a roof against the sun and rain. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, when everybody insisted, he allowed them to make a simple bhajan kutir for him. Srila Rupa Goswami had a bhajan kutir. These were nirapeksha vairagis. But for the body, these things are required. When it is raining, there is sun, it may be very cold, we need some shelter. So these are necessities and they are normal for a soul that has accepted a material body, embodied soul. And to a certain extent, we are all dependent on the external things like food, shelter, clothing. So what is the real meaning of being nirapeksha vairagi? The real meaning of being detached, renounced, vairagi is to factually reduce this dependence. So please note down this point. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharthameka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Budhiryastamaham Prapadde. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to teach us Vairagya Bhakti. Bhakti and Vairagya, both are required. We have to become detached, Vairagya from material things, and Bhakti means to get attached to Krishna. So what is the meaning of Vairagya? One meaning of Vairagya is to reduce our dependence on these external things like food, shelter, and clothing. We need them. Medicines, hospitalization, doctor visits, we need them when it is required, but we have to keep it to a minimum. Food, one who is a sincere devotee will not do atyahar, will not overeat. As far as shelter is concerned, a sincere devotee may not get into a very expensive house or a very luxurious, comfortable house because it is not anukul for bhakti. It creates material attachment. A sincere devotee may not go for a very expensive car. Something good, dependable, reliable, sturdy, that serves the purpose, but not a luxury car necessarily, because it's a waste of Krishna's money. And similarly, a devotee will keep the dependence on these external things like roti, kapda, makan, food, shelter, and clothing, and the extensions of it, simple. Simple. So this is the meaning of detachment, to reduce dependence on these external things. However, as long as the material body is present, it is impossible to be totally independent of material needs. I think this is very obvious. How is it possible? It is not possible. Even the greatest self-realized acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and others, they all used these external things. Everybody used external things. Even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to eat. Even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to take rest. Even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to wear clothes. So even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would allow Govinda to massage his feet after a long day of dancing and kirtan. So these external things are there, but a real devotee keeps them simple and keeps them to a minimum. Reducing the dependence on the external things. Still, at the same time, the reduction of material necessities is certainly conducive to devotional progress and devotional service and to Sharanagati. This is very important. Reducing our material necessities, Srila Prabhupada calls it unnecessary necessities. Unnecessary necessities. We can say, I need a luxurious house, but it may be an unnecessary necessity. One may say, I need a very expensive car, but it may be an unnecessary necessity. One may say, I need designer clothes and designer perfumes, but it's an unnecessary necessity. Same thing can be done with simple things. So that is a test for us as Grihasthas studying Jaiva Dharma, that as far as possible, we have to simplify our life. These external things will be there in our life and we will be dependent on these external things, but we have to minimize that dependence. Further, Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj is saying, if a person is able to dovetail all the above mentioned activities relating to roti, kapda, makan, food, shelter, and clothing, if one is able to dovetail them with Krishna's service, then the imperfections that are there will also go away. They will be rectified. For example, now we have to stay in a house, makan chahiye. So why not make that makan a mandir? Makan mein kyun rahe? Mandir mein rehna chahiye. So we can make our dwelling into a temple by installing Shri Vigraha of Radha and Krishna, Gaur, Nitai, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, like that. Our favorite deity we can install and establish service to our deity. If Krishna in some form is present in our house and we are serving Krishna in some form, maybe as Gopal or whichever form is dear to our heart, Shaligram, Govardhan Shila, Radha Krishna, Gaur Nitai, Jagannath, whichever form we have Krishna installed in our house and we set up nice regular service for Krishna, then the house becomes mandir, because mandir is where Krishna resides. So then the makan becomes spiritualized and all the imperfections are removed because it is Krishna's makan, it's Krishna's dwelling, it's a mandir. So roti, kapda, makan, food, shelter, clothing. So food, similarly, we have to eat food. Why not eat only Krishna Prasad? Why not take a vow that I will only eat that which has been offered to Krishna? I will only eat Krishna Prasad. So that way the imperfections in food are taken away. Food, shelter, and clothing. Clothing also, we can keep it simple. Something that is favorable for bhakti and something that we can wear in the association of devotees, go for satsang. Something that is simple and devotional. And every once in a while, we can wear dhoti kurta, we can wear sari or gopi dress when we go in the satsang, when we go to the temple. We can do that. And as far as makeup and everything is concerned, we can keep it simple. Good hygiene, good oral hygiene, good physical hygiene, put nice tilak. And that way, everything is Krishnaized, everything is spiritualized, and all the imperfections are taken away. For example, a person should not marry with the express intention of expanding his dynasty, ostentatiously worshipping Prajapati, the devata of progeny. So an example is given how we can dovetail everything in Krishna consciousness. Our eating, sleeping, mating, defending, everything can be done in a Krishna conscious way. For our protection, we can pray to Krishna. If we have children, we should do Garbhadhan Samskar, chant sincerely and pray for a Krishna conscious progeny. In this way, everything can be made Krishna conscious, but we should not just get married so that we can enjoy with our senses and produce children for whatever reason, to expand our dynasty or whatever. And we should not worship the demigods to get some material result like a child. We see in the example of Dhundabi, we see in the example of Chitraketu Maharaj. When it is not in our destiny to unnecessarily pray for something that is not in our destiny, then the results may not be very palatable in the long run. So we should accept our destiny and not do demigod worship for material gains, like some puja to get a putra. All those things are not for devotees. Rather, he should think that he's accepting Krishna's maidservant as his life partner. When we get married, instead of thinking I'll marry this girl because she is beautiful and I can enjoy with her, or I will marry this woman so that I can increase my dynasty, instead of having such material goals, we can think I'm marrying this girl, but she's a gopi. She's a maidservant of Radharani. She's Krishna's gopi. And as a life partner, we will have Krishna conscious lifestyle. We are life partners, we are friends for life, and we will serve Radha and Krishna together. I will see my spouse as a devotee of Krishna, as a servant of Krishna. I will see my children as devotees of Krishna, and I will treat them as such. When such resolutions are there, then even family life becomes favorable to Krishna Bhakti. That's what Shri Anandadas Babaji Maharaj is saying. A Grihastha Bhakta will observe Shraddha. How to make Shraddha? So we talked about Vivaha. Two examples were given by Shri Anandadas Babaji Maharaj, how under the domination of the Smarta Brahmanas in society, a Vaishnava may conform to certain Vedic rituals like Vivaha Samskar, Shraddha ceremony, but they are not done in a Kamya way, in a way that one expects material benefits. It is done in a Krishna conscious way. How Shraddha can be Krishnaized? Shri Anandadas Babaji Maharaj is explaining very nicely. A Grihastha Bhakta will observe Shraddha by giving Krishna Prasad to the departed soul as Pindadan. So we cook for Krishna, we offer Naivedyam to Krishna, and then we take Krishna Prasad and offer it to our ancestors through our prayers. We offer it to our ancestors. And by Krishna's arrangement, they will receive the effects of Krishna Prasad and they will be benefited. And then we can also feed the Vaishnavas. So we can do Pindadan to the ancestors and feed and offer charity to Vaishnava Brahmanas, not Smarta Brahmanas, to Vaishnava Brahmanas. This is spiritually beneficial. This is spiritually beneficial for all of us when we do this. So observing Shraddha is very simple. You invite a Vaishnava Brahman home, you cook nice Naivedya, offer it to Krishna with love, then take Krishna Prasad and offer it to the departed ancestors. Offer Krishna Prasad to the Brahman Vaishnava, the Vaishnava Brahman. And in this way, serve and please the Vaishnava Brahman. Once Shri Advaita Acharya was questioned why you are giving the Shraddha Patra to Srila Haridas Thakur, you should give it to high class pure Brahmanas. And Srila Haridas Thakur famously replied that feeding a pure devotee like Namacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur, is like feeding thousands of Brahmanas because he is a Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava. So in this way, we should have Harinam Sankirtan, we should have recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. There should be Bhagavat class when we have Shraddha ceremony. Because we see from Padma Puran how Dhundubi, Dhundakari, and the son of Atmadev, how he was liberated. Dhundakari was liberated just by the hearing of the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is how we should perform Shraddha ceremony. It doesn't take much effort. It's very simple. At the same time, it is very spiritually sublime. It's completely Krishna conscious. You're having Bhagavatam, you're having Harinam Sankirtan, you're inviting Vaishnava Brahmanas, feeding them Krishna Prasad. And your ancestors are getting the benefit because they are also getting Krishna Prasad. They also will hear Bhagavatam and Harinam Kirtan by the mercy of Krishna. When the devotional practices of bhakti are integrated with the smarta rituals, this sentence is very important. Please pay attention. When devotional practices of bhakti are integrated with smarta rituals, then the negative fruitive results, kamya, the karmakand aspect, are removed. On account of including Vaishnava activities of Shuddha Bhakti, there will be no hindrance on the path of bhakti. Then there is no hindrance on the path of bhakti, even though there is a touch of Vedic rituals. Social dealings should be conducted dispassionately, not passionately. Sometimes people become very passionate about materialistic association. Let's get together and let's discuss, let's debate these current events, or let's go shopping, or let's do this, let's go on a vacation together. This should be avoided with non-devotees because then our material passion will increase. Social dealings with non-devotees should be done dispassionately, means without attachment, without too much enthusiasm, and with detachment. We should be detached. Aisa nahi ki some mundane activity is not happening, though we become very disturbed, very depressed or sad. No, we should not miss material sense gratification. We should be detached from it. Then all these performances are pruned off, their imperfections. If our social dealings are conducted as a matter of business, dispassionately and without attachment, then the imperfections are all taken away. It's all about bhav. It's all about our inner mood and attitude. Spiritual activities must be executed in sadhu sangha. Spiritual activities must be executed in sadhu sangha. If we are having some puja in the house, we should invite Vaishnavas, not materialistic people, and have some puja with materialistic people who are non-devotees. The proper consciousness will not come. Spiritual activity should be done with spiritual people, sadhu sangha. Just observe that the majority of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's parshads, eternal associates, they are grahastha bhaktas, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, like Shivananda Sen, like Sri Ramananda Rai. So many of them, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu, they are all grahastha bhaktas. Since the dawn of history, Srivas Thakur, all grahastha. Since the dawn of history, many devotees who were Rajarshis, like Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, they were all grahasthas. Saintly kings, Rajarshis, Devas, demigods, and rishis, philosophers were grahastha bhaktas. Kashyap Muni is a grahastha. Kardama Muni is grahastha. You must understand that grahastha bhaktas are universally worshipable. So Sri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj is very clearly, without any ambiguity, is explaining to Sri Yadav Das ji that just because someone is a grihastha does not mean the person cannot be a pure devotee. Grihastha bhaktas, they are worshipable, they can be pure devotees. So Yadav Das ji asks, if the grihastha bhaktas are so highly estimated and are heir to the treasure of the most sublime aspects of Krishna Prem, Daya Bhak, Mukti Pade Daya Bhak, then why do some of them enter the renounced order of life and thus become Griha Tyagis or renouncers of home like sannyasis? Very intelligent question. If a Grihastha Bhakta can achieve the same thing what a sannyasi can achieve, then why does a Grihastha become a sannyasi? What is the need? Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj replies, a very few Grihastha Bhaktas become suitable candidates for the renounced order of life, sannyas, Griha Tyagi. And their association is extremely rare. Such a devotee is very rare who is qualified to become a Griha Tyagi. Shri Yadav Das asks, what qualifications are required to become a Griha Tyagi? What qualifications are required for a Grihastha to renounce Grihastha ashram and become a Griha Tyagi, either a Vanaprasthi, but without the wife, or a sannyasi, complete Griha Tyagi? What are the qualifications? Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj replies, human beings have two types of pravritti. There is the Bahirmukh pravritti and there is the Antarmukh pravritti. This we have to understand. Human beings have two types of tendencies, propensities. External material tendency or internal spiritual tendency. External material tendency is called Bahirmukh, and internal spiritual tendency is called Antarmukh. A human being has these two types of tendency. Tendency for Bahirmukh, material enjoyment, or tendency for Antarmukh, spiritual advancement. The pure spiritual soul has forgotten his original identity. Krishna bhuliya se jiva Ādi Bahirmukh, and presumptuously assumed the gross material body and the subtle mind to be his self. Deha Atma Buddhi. This is our disease. Deha Atma Buddhi. We think our body, gross and subtle body, to be the real self. We have forgotten that I am a spiritual entity, eternal soul. In this way, having mistakenly identified his self with mundane mind and body, by mistakenly identifying with the gross and subtle body, the conditioned soul views the material nature through the instruments of his senses, with the eyes, with the nose, with the ears, with the tongue, with the skin. We experience the world. And then what happens? These experiences create attraction and attachment to the objects of sense gratification, Vishaya. And then we become Vishayi. We become mad after sense gratification. This is called Bahirmukh Pravritti, or external material tendency, propensity. So just please pay attention. We are a soul. We have a spiritual body. This spiritual body is covered by a subtle body made up of the mind. The subtle body is covered by the gross body made up of skin and bones and muscles. We see, we hear, we smell, we touch, we taste. We are experiencing this world through our jnanendriyas, our knowledge acquiring senses. So now think from the point of view of the soul. The soul is going bahirmukh, external. The soul is inside, but is going out through the mind and the gross body, experiencing the world through the jnanendriyas. And of course, the mana shashtani indriyani prakriti sthani karshe. The sixth sense is the mind also. Shashtani indriyani. The mind also is just experiencing this world, accepting, rejecting, anukalpa, vikalpa, hankering for something good, pleasure, and lamenting when it is not there or suffering comes. This is a function of the mind. So mind is also going out into the material things and experiencing the world in relation to material objects. And so is the soul looking through the mind and the gross body and experiencing through the mind and the gross body. This is going out, bahirmukh. Okay? This is bahirmukh, external material tendency. This is one tendency of human being. Now, what is antarmukh pravritti? When this soul looks inwards at the Paramatma, that at Krishna, not mind and gross body, no. The soul is now looking towards the best friend, Krishna. Suridam Sarvabhutanam is looking at the Drashtacha, Anumantacha, the witness, Krishna, the Supreme Lord Krishna. The soul turns towards Krishna. This is called, the consciousness is not flowing out, the consciousness is flowing inside, antarmukta, antarmukh pravritti, internal spiritual propensity. So human beings have these two tendencies. Either they will want to experience the world through their mind and senses, that is bahirmukta, or one may go deep, go internally and try to understand. I am a soul. Who is the super soul? I am Atma. Who is the Paramatma? Hey Krishna. Hey Paramatma. And we turn towards Krishna. I want to understand you. I want to know you. That is called antarmukta, spiritual pravritti, spiritual tendency. These two tendencies are there of a human being. What was the question? Who has the qualification to become a Griha Tyagi? Which Grihastha Vaishnava has the qualification to renounce Grihastha ashram? So in response, Shri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj is telling Shri Yadav Das that there are two types of tendencies of human being. Antarmukta, spiritual tendency. Bahirmukta, material tendency. Now, as long as the external propensity is predominant, the bahirmukta, trying to experience and enjoy the world through the mind and the senses, is predominant, one must without offense and on the strength of saintly association unfailingly dovetail all one's propensities in Krishna consciousness. Because we bahirmukta hai, we are going external. We want to see. Okay, watch Prabhupada movie, watch Acharya, watch Abhay Charan serial, so nicely made by Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Okay, watch some video. Watch some video of some sadhu, some Bhagavatam class, some Sunday feast class, online. You watch it, no problem. You have a desire to watch something, you will watch a movie. No, don't do that. Instead, you watch something Krishna conscious. Okay, there are a lot of videos on YouTube. You watch that. Now you want to hear something, some Bollywood, Hollywood music. No. Instead, you hear Kirtan. You want to eat something, you want to eat pizza, pasta, Narak ka rasta. Okay, then at least you offer your pizza, pasta to Krishna. Then it will be pizza, pasta, Golok ka rasta. So these bahirmukh tendencies are there. You want to go external and enjoy this, enjoy that, experience that. Okay, then do it in a Krishna conscious way. You want to smell nice perfumes? Okay. Buy attar, offer it, massage or shaligram shilas with it, and then you can have it as prasadi. So it's prasad. Then you can use it, no problem. Instead of using some alcohol-based this, you use some prasad, like that. Then, so this bahirmukta is there. You can dovetail it. in Krishna consciousness for the Bahirmukh people. In the secure shelter of bhakti process, the Bahirmukh pravritti will swiftly shrink back and change direction towards the Antarmukh pravritti. Now, when we change our Bahirmukh pravritti and utilize it in Krishna's service, all our six senses, five knowledge acquiring senses, and the sixth sense called mind, when we engage them in the external world, but in relationship to Krishna, then what happens? Slowly, one starts thinking, yaar, ye Krishna prasad to bahut acha hai. I never knew Rajma rice can be made without onion garlic. पता ही नहीं था ये कैसे ग्रेवी बनाई है, टोमेटो बेस्ड ग्रेवी, वेरी नाइस, वेरी टेस्टी. पाव भाजी तो कभी सोचा भी नहीं था विदाउट अनियन गार्लिक बन सकता है. कितना अच्छा पाव भाजी है, कितना अच्छा केक बनाया है, एगलेस केक है. दिस कृष्णा इज अमेजिंग. यू विल टेल द डिवोटी क्या मस्त बनाया है यार. And the Mataji will say, oh, because my Thakurji has eaten, it's standard answer Mataji will give. I think my Gaurnita must have surely eaten today. That's why it is tasting good. Then the Bahirmukh person will think, oh, Krishna is amazing. He can give such a nice prasad. Then one starts getting taste in Hari Katha. Are Amarendra Prabhu, what beautiful description of Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Krishna, Balaram, he gave in Radha Gopinath Mandir. What beautiful, beautiful description. Heart was erupting in joy. It was such a music to the ears. Such a beautiful class Amarendra Prabhu gave. Such a nice, such wonderful Krishna conscious entertainment. This you cannot get even in the biggest blockbuster movie also. Such a nice experience. So then the Bahirmukh person starts thinking, yaar, ye Krishna bahut amazing hai. Krishna is really amazing. I must go deep and learn more about Krishna. I think it's time to get Bhagavatam set. I think it's time to start reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this Bahirmukh person starts going Antarmukh. Why? Because the Bahirmukh pravritti was somehow utilized in activities of Krishna consciousness. This is our journey, my dear friends. In the secure shelter of the bhakti process, bhakti ke antargat, ye jo Bahirmukh pravritti hai, उसे यदि हम कृष्ण के भक्ति में लगाए, हमारे पांचों ज्ञानेंद्रियों को और मन को, then our bahirmukh pravritti somehow starts getting attracted to Krishna. And Krishna kidhar hai? Sarvasya cha aham hridhi sannivishto. Krishna is in the heart. Then we start going antarmukh. Then the bahirmukh pravritti becomes antarmukh pravritti. When the propensity turns totally inward, now this may take time. This is called Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyana cha grihate. This is what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, chanchalai mana Krishna. Asamshaya mahabhav. Mana durnigraham. This mind, no doubt, it is very difficult to control. It is no doubt difficult to control. I agree. Krishna says, when Arjun says chanchalai mana Krishna, yes, it is chanchal. But abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyana cha grihate. But it can be controlled by abhyas and vairagya. Vairagya means pratikulya sa varjanam, giving up unfavorable things. And abhyas means anukulya sa sankalpa, accept what is favorable. This is called a practice. Practice doing what is favorable and practice giving up what is unfavorable. When we do this properly, then we become completely antarmukh. Is this clear? When the propensity, the pravritti turns totally inwards, antarmukh, then the grihastha bhakta earns the eligibility to be a grihatyagi. Completely. ऐसा नहीं कि 10%, 20%, 50% antarmukh. Okay, I'm 60%. No. Grihatyagi, one has to be completely antarmukh, not bahirmukh at all. 100% antarmukh. Then the grihastha bhakta earns the eligibility to be a grihatyagi. It's very serious business. If a grihastha renounces the household situation prematurely, there is every possibility of failure. And the history of this world is witness to this, how dangerous it is. All glories to the brave spiritual warriors who tried. At least they tried. I don't even have the courage to try. At least they tried. At least they tried in the service of their Gurudev. So they may have had difficulties. And we will see why sometimes there are difficulties. Jaiva Dharma has answers to, I think, everything. I really feel every devotee in ISKCON should study Jaiva Dharma. It is really a phenomenal book. So if a Grihastha Vaishnava renounces, becomes a Griha Tyagi prematurely, now 100% Antarmukta is not there. There is still some Vishaya Lalasa. There is still some Vishaya Lalasa. Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Habe Mana Kabe Amahe Ribo Shri Vrindavan. If that sthiti has not been attained, Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Tyaptva Turnam Ashesha Mandalapati Shrenim Jada Tuchavat. If that sthiti is not there, and one is not 100% Antarmukh, but still becomes a Griha Tyagi, then it is a very dangerous situation. There is every possibility of failure. The household situation is a school. Grihastha ashram is a school for the Jiva, wherein the Jiva educates himself with Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva means Antarmukta. Atma Tattva means becoming Atmavan, becoming internal, going to the Paramatma. That is called Antarmukh Pravritti. Household ashram, Grihastha ashram is a school. It's a Vidyalaya to get the Vidya of Atma Tattva, knowledge of the spiritual self, going inside, Antarmukh. Once the education is over, once one has become completely Antarmukh, he may leave the school. No need to live in Grihastha ashram. It's a school. You don't stay and stick around in the school after you graduate. You go. So one may leave the school of Grihastha ashram once one is completely Antarmukh. Completely Antarmukh. Then our Yadav Das ji asks another excellent question. What symptoms indicate that a devotee has acquired the eligibility to become Griha Tyagi? Yes, one becomes Griha Tyagi when one is completely Antarmukh. But how do we know that one is completely Antarmukh? Hare Krishna. Shri Ananta Das Babaji Maharaj replies, he must be completely free from the desire to associate with women. Hare Krishna. Now, Prabhupada explains there are 8 types of associations with women. Physical is one, but then there are a lot of subtle ways of associating also. Giving some nice service and then thinking, will the girls be impressed with my katha, with my kirtan, with my joke, with my dance, with my mridanga playing, with my whatever it is. That is subtle. Then, speaking in a way, cracking jokes with Matajis, thinking that they will feel impressed. Making them laugh and taking pleasure that, yes, Matajis are laughing at my joke. Itna mast joke maine bataya. Sab log Mataji log has rahe hain. They're enjoying. This giving them enjoyment is Srila Prabhupada says, it's a subtle way of enjoying the opposite sex. So as long as one has a desire to associate with women, one is not completely Antarmukh and one is not eligible for Griha Tyag. The devotee should be very merciful to all living creatures. Surida Sarvadehinam should be a sadhu. Is one of the qualities of a sadhu described in Srimad Bhagavatam. The devotee must be able to handle money and material possessions with indifference. Indifference. Whether someone is giving $1 million donation and someone is giving $108 donation, a sadhu will treat both of them equally, with equal affection. A sadhu will never give extra affection to someone just because they are big donors, or they will give money, or they will give some material opulence. No, it is not like that. Accumulate just enough food and clothing for times of want. Just enough. And for a tyagi, there is no question of storing. It's every day depending on Krishna's mercy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu punished Govinda Ghosh for storing little Haritaki. For Mahaprabhu, not for himself. For Mahaprabhu, he stored as a digestive. Mahaprabhu said, oh, you saved it yesterday. That means you have a tendency to save. That means you cannot be a Grihatyagi. You immediately get married. You cannot be a Vairagi. You have to become a Grihastha. And Mahaprabhu ordered him to get married for saving some Haritaki, which is like a digestive, Hajmola for Mahaprabhu. One must have pure love for Krishna. One must avoid the company of gross materialists. Asat Sangatyage Vaishnava Achar. One must be unconcerned about either praise or insult, whether we are glorified or whether we are criticized. It is same. There is no difference. If somebody praises us, we think Krishna's qualities are being praised. Krishna's opulence is being praised. Guru Maharaj's greatness is being praised. And if you are criticized, yes, Mosama Patita, Nahi Tribhuvane. I am very, very patit. I am very sinful. So therefore I deserve to be criticized. So in both the ways, whether one is praised or whether one is insulted, a devotee is okay. It's okay. One should be uninterested in ostentatious show. A devotee should not have a tendency to show off. Come home, andar aao. And then subtly we are thinking, देखो मेरा घर कितना बढ़िया है, आलीशान घर है मेरा. आओ देखो मेरा opulence देखो. And then they say, wow, Prabhu, kya mast ghar hai. Then andar laddu. So as long as these desires are there, then one is completely attached to Griha. One cannot be a Griha Tyagi. And one must be equipoised and dispassionate in life or death. Whether the biopsy result comes benign, whether the biopsy result comes malignant. No difference. Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tohar. Nityadasa prati to a full adhikar. A full right on me, Krishna. Do whatever you say. I don't care. If I live, I will serve you. If I die, I will serve you. Whatever you want. This life is yours. One sadhu guru who has a serious health problem was asked, Baba, you have got this disease now. We feel so sad for you. So Baba ji said, अभी गाड़ी गराज में आकर खड़ी हो गई है. अभी वो बंद हो जाए, बंद ना हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? हाँ, चिंता तब होगी. Anxiety will be there if we are driving home, it's late at night, it's raining, and we are still 100 miles from home, and there is no cell phone tower, and there is nobody on the road, and we are somehow driving in the dark night in the rain, and the car stops. Then anxiety होगी. He said, अभी गाड़ी तो घर में आकर, गराज में आकर बंद हुई है. अभी चाहे बंद हो, चाहे चालू हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? हम वृंदावन में हैं, वृंदावन का आश्रय लिया है, यहाँ पर भजन हो रहा है, यहाँ पर राधा कृष्ण का आश्रय लिया है. अभी जियो वा मरो वा. अभी whether we live or we die, it doesn't matter. We have already reached home. So sweet. This is life. This is what we want. We want to die like His Holiness Kadambakanand Maharaj. We want to die in the consciousness of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. We want to die in the consciousness of Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Completely fearless. Maharaj knew this is a COVID peak. And he was 75 years old. And there was every danger. And Maharaj said it sitting on the Vyasasana of Ujjain temple, that as the leader of the frontline devotees in America, I cannot sit here. How long can I sit here? This body is Prabhupada's body. This body belongs to Krishna. Why should I be afraid of COVID and sit here? Devotees there, they need inspiration. They need association. How can I let them fight again alone? I must go to D-Land. I must go to America. Maharaj came completely unconcerned. It didn't matter whether Maharaj lived for 100 years or Maharaj did not live for even 10 more days. It didn't matter to Maharaj. As long as I'm doing what needs to be done in the service of Srila Prabhupada. And it was Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj who had famously said, when he had a heart attack in 2008, that this is a old car. It has 200,000 miles on it already. It's an old car. And Prabhupada is a very rich man. In his garage, there are hundreds of cars like this, better than this. New models are there. If this old car stops working, it doesn't make any difference to Prabhupada. This is the humility of Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He's saying, so what if I die? I am an old car anyway. Prabhupada has many new cars, better cars. He can just use some other car. This is what we want, dear devotees. Fearlessness from death. But these are the qualities Sri Anantadas Babaji Maharaj is describing for someone who is eligible for becoming a Grihatyagi. Dispassionate in life or death. It makes no difference whether I live or I die. This is a very deep state of consciousness. It's easy to say that. But I have seen my patients when they come with a mass and we do biopsy and I walk into that room. Yes, I have got your pathology report. Are you ready to listen? They are in such anxiety. They will hold hand of their loved one and they will sit and they'll keep a tissue paper ready. Yes, doc, go ahead. Or sometimes they'll say, I don't want to hear, just you can go out of the room and talk to my family members. Like that also some people say. Because they are not prepared. To be dispassionate, to be so udasin, whether it is cancer or it is benign, it doesn't make any difference. How in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says whether it is a lump of gold or a lump of earth, it doesn't matter. Praise and criticism doesn't matter. This is a very deep situation. When we are praised, we become happy. When we are criticized, we become defensive and disheartened. But if we do manan, if we really contemplate on this, if we really think about this, it is possible. If we think from the point of view of Paramarth, from a spiritual point of view, then it is possible. But if we have a Bahirmukh Pravritti, then it is not possible to be dispassionate in life or death. It is not possible to avoid a ostentatious show. It is not possible to be unconcerned about praise or insult. It is not possible to not accumulate. It is not possible to handle money with indifference. Arey, money is honey. It is not possible to be merciful to all living creatures. We are merciful and kind to living creatures who are favorable to us. Hare Krishna. But only a person who is antarmukh, who is in touch with Krishna, who is understanding. Everything belongs to Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam pravartate. When one is yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. When that consciousness is there, Bhagavad Bhav in everything, then it is possible. Then it is possible. Namayam Shajiva Loka Jiva Buddha Sanatana. We see everybody as Krishna's part and parcel. Then it is Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Sunicheva Supakachevo Pandita Samadarshana. That consciousness is possible. In that consciousness, it is possible to have these qualities and become a Grihatyagi. So then the symptoms of someone who is eligible for Grihatyaga are mentioned, but we will see this, Krishna willing, next time. The slide number, I know Ajay Govinda will ask me. Slide number. Slide number is 65. And I think we have 104 slides in this Prabhuji. This is 65. Safe number. 64 karke ek extra. 65. So we'll stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Our beloved Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahashaya ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. It's 9:30, so we'll stop. 2 questions. Okay. Shama Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, I have two questions actually. The last point that we read, all these qualities, they seem so far away that it kind of feels a little hopeless, like when or how at all it's possible to get these qualities and to really become that equipoised.
Yes,
So,
this is very good, Mataji. This is the fact actually. प्रीति न यावत मयि वासुदेवे न मुच्यते देह योगेन तावत मिलहि न रघुपति बिना अनुरागा कोटि जन्म जप तप वैरागा. Krishna is very sulabh, the Syam Sulabha Partha, if you are completely Krishna conscious, if you are completely Antarmukh. Otherwise, getting Krishna is not so cheap thing. So this is a fact that this sthiti that is being described, the Antarmukh sthiti, is very difficult to attain. And yes, that is a reality check for us. It is difficult, and yes, we are very far away. So we should not think that bas I'm just standing at the door of Golok Vrindavan. We should not be in such illusion. But Krishna bada daya hai. We are therefore, my Shiksha Gurudev, Shripad Mukundatta Prabhu, he says that actually we are all Kripa Siddha if we become Siddha. Nobody Sadhana Siddha. We say sadhana siddha, but nobody can be sadhana siddha because Krishna cannot be controlled and purchased by sadhana. We are kripa siddha, all of us. So we have to depend on the mercy of Krishna, and we have to properly follow the process that our acharyas has given. As Srila Rupa Goswami says, utsahat nishchayat dhairyat tat karma pravartanat. Tat karma pravartanat. Sangatyagat sato vritti. Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhati. It is possible, but we have to have enthusiasm, we have to have patience, determination, faith, and we have to follow Tat Karma Pravartana. We should follow the path that our acharyas have given. So chanting nicely, hearing nicely, reading, doing Vaishnava Seva, and slowly going deep in the quality of our bhajan, making chanting a very deep experience where we are doing meditation on Gaur Nitai or Radha Krishna, chanting ashtakams with bhav, understanding the meaning. So then slowly we have to make progress. And like we discussed today in Jaiva Dharma, when Bahirmukh Pravritti is dovetailed in the limbs of Krishna consciousness, in limbs of Bhakti, Navavidha Bhakti, then surely that Bahirmukta will change into Antarmukta. And anyway, these qualities are for someone who is eligible for Griha Tyag. So right now, I don't think any of us have to think about Griha Tyag. We should try to become Sadgrahasthas. That should be our aim. I want to be a Sadgrahastha first. So like that. Is that helpful, Shama Kishori Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. May I ask one more?
Yes, please.
So, Prabhuji, you mentioned today and I think last week also that we should use attar, which is offered to Krishna. So, Prabhuji, can we not use perfumes, regular perfumes?
So actually, bad body odor is a big problem. And especially when we are in kirtans, it's we have to take care as devotees. We should take bath and apply soap. And actually, I don't think it is anything wrong in using the deodorants. So I personally make it a point that I use it, and I use those that are cruelty free, not tested on animals, and I offer it to my Guru Maharaj. I'm not supposed to say this, but I offer it to my Guru Maharaj, although my Guru Maharaj doesn't use, but I don't have anybody other than my Guru Maharaj. So I offer it and then I use it. So one should keep the body clean, putting shampoo, putting soap, brushing 2-3 times a day, flossing, using a tongue cleaner, using a deodorant. These are simple, necessary things, because when a Vaishnava is not clean and goes and doing service and there is a bad body odor coming from the underarms, it sets a very bad example. So we should be careful. We should keep the body clean. Nowadays, there is heat and sweating, and sometimes we are most of the time in air conditioned environments where the odor can be really very pronounced because we work in close quarters. So devotees should take care. And I think these are small things which we should not too much do hair splitting. Oh, but it has got this, it has got that. What I meant was, when I said alcohol based, means two things. It's not that we go and we buy designer perfumes and then we put so much that as soon as we enter the room, everything is, oh my God, what happened? Who just walked in? आप आए बाहर आई, ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. So it should be subtle, but at least it should be a deodorant. Means there is no odor, but we don't want to be fragrant, too much fragrant also, to attract attention to ourselves. That was my point. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, but how do you offer it? Like just mentally to Krishna, if it's a perfume and you have to
Mataji,
offer it?
this is not some Siddhanta or some bhajan paddhati. This is just what I do. Okay. Because whatever we do, we are supposed to offer it. So I have got photo of my Guru Maharaj and I just spray in front of it and I offer it to Guru Maharaj. And then I start using the deo.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so Prahladananda Prabhu, we'll stop very quickly now. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
No, I don't have a question, Prabhuji. I'm just trying to get some opinion about it. See, Grahastha, I'm at 70, I'll still Grahastha. You understand that I stay with my wife and children like that. And many lectures I have heard that, if you really want to become pure and Suddha and devoid of sex desire, then you have to leave the house. Right? But I always fear that, if I leave my wife, I can fall for another woman even at 70. So I'm very much afraid of leaving my house. And Narad Muni has said, Tyaktva dharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan na pakvat patet. That gives me solace and makes me realize, okay, let me try. But no, I'm afraid of doing that. So what should I do? That's what I am asking,
Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahmaji, he says, Sthane Siddha Shruti Gatam Tanumam Vapubhir.
Manobhir, yes.
Manobhir, yeah. So you just Sthane Siddha, you stay in your ashram, Grihe Tako, Vane Tako, Sada Hari Bol Tako. So just stay with your wife, stay with your family, and just intensify your bhajan. And you can develop the internal mood of a Vairagi. Like now my life is coming to an end. Maximum I have got just few more years. And if I don't do bhajan, then next life, I may have to accept another wife, or I may have to accept another husband. And what is the guarantee that I will get a Sadguru, I will get Vaishnava Sangha? So better I try to practice Krishna consciousness as sincerely as I can, and depending on Krishna's mercy. So
I get a lot of inspiration from your lectures.
So probably what we saw in Jaiva Dharma today, and this will be very clear in the subsequent slides, that there are two types of devotees. There is the Grihastha Vaishnava and there is a Griha Tyagi Vaishnava. And clearly Shri Vaishnava Swaji Maharaj says the Griha Tyagi Vaishnavas are very, very rare, which means Griha Tyagi is not for everyone, which means majority of Grihasthas will die as Grihasthas, and that's okay. That's okay. There are many Mahajans among the 12 Mahajans who are Grihasthas. In fact, majority of them, they are Grihasthas. And we saw so many examples. So they are Grihasthas, and the renunciation is an internal thing. If we simplify our life and intensify the bhajan and our sharanagati, prayerful mood, then we don't have anything to fear.
Got it. Thank you very much for your comment, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Last question, Divya Agrawal Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had a question about that Marobi Rakhubi Jo Ichha Tumhara. This morning we heard that Devatas, they praised to Lord Vishnu when they were in difficulty, and Lord being pleased with their prayers appeared. So I just wonder, for us, like when we are in difficulty, should we pray or should we not pray? Because when we say Marobi Rakhubi Jo Ichha Tumhara, that means we shouldn't be praying and just accept whatever difficulty we are going through.
When we are in difficulty, we should pray. And the prayer we should pray is Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha to Nitya dasa prati tu adhikar. This prayer we should offer. The demigods were praying because their service was to maintain and protect this universe. They are the universal managers, and the demons had displaced them, and they were causing complete mess in the universal management. Everything was going haywire. That's when the demigods prayed to Krishna that the demons have taken over, and the service that you gave us, we are not able to do. So for the sake of fulfillment of one's Guru Pradatta Seva or Krishna Pradatta Seva, one can pray. Guru Krishna has given a service, and we can pray to receive empowerment to fulfill that service, like that. But as far as personally we can pray for others. We can pray for others. But as far as we are concerned, when we are in trouble, we should pray. But our prayer should be Ashlishava Padaratam Pinashtumama Darshanan Marmatam Karotuva. That should be our prayer. Or Maro Virakho Bijo Ichatohar. That is a sign of Sharanagati. Okay? For us. Okay, Mataji? Okay. So I don't think there are any.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just one more thing I wanted to ask. You spoke about hygiene. Now, the day I'm doing Ekadashi, even without eating anything, my kids tell me that I have a bad breath, even though I'm not like eating anything. So I just wonder how Ekadashi can give bad breath, even when you're not eating, just having water.
Ekadashi is not giving bad breath. It's our body. Because if we don't eat or drink, then the saliva stagnates. Saliva stagnates. There is overgrowth of bacteria, which causes bad breath. So therefore, even on Ekadashi, we should brush, we should floss, we should rinse our mouth. So,
even after doing that.
Yeah, because stagnation of saliva, because we are not drinking water. So that's okay. We cannot be fragrant all the time. Krishna is fragrant all the time, but we should try our best. We should try to be reasonably clean, but we don't want to be fanatic. We should not carry a odor meter every time. Is it smelling? Let me do something. Not like that. We don't want to be obsessed, but reasonably 2-3 times a day we should brush, clean our tongue, and we can use mouthwash also. Srila Prabhupada used to use Listerine mouthwash. So we can use mouthwash. Hygiene is important. We should bathe, we should clean, especially the dirty parts of the body, private parts, underarms, mouth. We should keep everything clean as far as possible, reasonably clean. It doesn't take much time. So cleanliness is important. Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu writes, one of the seva aparadhs is not to clean our teeth properly. Srila Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it's a seva aparadh to not clean one's mouth properly. And just few days ago, I was reading Srila Prabhupada's letter also, where Prabhupada gives general instructions to everyone that devotees of ISKCON should be very clean. They should be very hygienic, and Prabhupada mentions cleaning the mouth, cleaning the body. So like that. So we can discuss with Ananga Sundari Mataji. She's a dentist here. She can you can talk to her when she comes this weekend. Okay? She will shed more light on Ekadashi, oral hygiene. Maybe she can do a seminar. Ananga Sundari Mataji, how does it sound? Ekadashi, oral hygiene.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sure.
Okay. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Nitai Gaur.